Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of Around the World in 80 Tours. My name is the Lorekeeper, and ladies and gentlemen, I think that we may have just found, as you see, the most beautiful of our tour locations so far. Where we are is called NAN, which I really hope I pronounced that correctly because it's gonna feel really awkward if I didn't, and it's the whole subject of this episode. But just let's take a second. Let's take a look around. And I'm gonna actually close the camera for just a second, so you guys won't see me for just a second, but I'm still here. So let's just close that for just a second so that I can show you the full view. Because when I imagine being like deep in a rainforest or something like that, this is about what I imagine. It seems so blissful and in tune with nature, and I love it. And like, one of my favorite things about doing this show, as I've explained but probably not demonstrated very well in the last few episodes, being that they were all in the United States or a couple tourist traps, but that's neither here nor there. But one of my favorite things is finding areas like this that are so much more natural, full of natural beauty, and I'm sure this is maintained at some level by humans, but humans can't have done all of this, right? And that is rhetorical. I know they didn't. I know that didn't sound very rhetorical, but you know what I mean. But anyway, let me go ahead and pull the InstaWarp map back up, because we are going to need this for this specific tour, and you'll find out why here in just a little bit. There we go, I'm back. So, this area, uh, this location is in Pohnpei. It's this place over here in Micronesia. So, as you see, this is labeled the trail leading to the non-MADOL ruins, which is going to be actually this right over here that I'm pointing at. Where we are now is just a pathway. So without further ado, let's go ahead and move a little bit closer. Like, I don't know how big the tourist trade is for this, but it is still a historical site. Kind of shrunk the map a lot there, didn't I? But you can see like this little building here. It kind of looks abandoned. And look at that. I love that so much. I love how tall the trees are and how well they just reach up to the clouds. Like I said, this is a beautiful place that I'm going to tell you all about while I gawk at everything. Because part of the show, part of the reason for this show's existence is simply for me to gawk at places and talk about them while I gawk at them. So without even further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the next area that we're able to access. See all these red plants and these trees as far as the eye can see? I feel like we don't have this much in America. It's kind of not as friendly toward trees. Doesn't it feel like you could just fall asleep under their canopy? So beautiful. That's a word I'm going to be using a lot during this episode, I think. I promise I know more words, I know more adjectives. I'm just choosing not to use them. So anyway, I do have some information that I have pulled up on the side about where we are, and you will notice that it does say ruins. I feel like no happy story ever really left ruins. So here in just a second, we're gonna find out what the story is. I skimmed it. I did not read the whole thing. Um, we will find out together, as is my favorite style of the show. You see all the rocks down here and the water flowing through it? Man, I love that. I feel like if I ever just really need to relax and calm down, I could probably just imagine myself here and it would do the trick. Anyway, I keep getting distracted, but let's did I lose it? No, never mind. I just zoomed out. That's all. So, I think when I was looking earlier, I saw like a drone capture of this of these surroundings. Ah, so lovely. I really should actually talk about the location, shouldn't I? But just look at all this. And I think these are recent pictures too. I'll double check that. Yeah, these pictures are from uh, 2025, July of 2025. So this is pretty recent. And it all still looks this good, hopefully. I know things can change in a really short time, but man. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I'm like awestruck by this place. Uh, so we're gonna go ahead and start our reading. I'll just put this over here for right now. And close all these extra tabs that just like to open automatically no matter what I do. That can be so frustrating. Okay. From our good, credible, and trusty friend Wikipedia, ha, here's what we have. Non-MADOL is an archaeological site adjacent to the eastern shore of the island of Pohnpei, now part of the... Oh no, here we go with words I can't pronounce again. Uh, Madolim district of Pohnpei State in the Federated States of Micronesia in the western Pacific Ocean. Non-Madol was the capital of the Sudelaire dynasty until about 1628. The city, constructed in a lagoon, which does explain a lot of the beauty. I love lagoons. Consists of a series of small artificial islands linked by a network of canals. Well, I was going to see if it was going to give me a little pop-up to tell me exactly what it defines an artificial island as, but it seems pretty self-explanatory, doesn't it? The site core with its stone walls encloses an area approximately 1.5 by 0.5 kilometers, and it contains 92 artificial islets, stone and coral fill platforms bordered by tidal canals. So, what we're seeing here, according to this article, is that a good portion of this is kind of man-made, in a way. The name non-Madol means within the intervals, and is a reference to the canals that crisscross the ruins. The original name was Sao Nan Lang, Reef of Heaven, according to Gene Ashby in his book Pohnpei, an Island Argosy. Did I say that right? I don't know. Yell at me in the comments if I didn't. It is often called the eighth wonder of the world, or the Venice of the Pacific. Which I should mention, I thought about doing like a mini series covering the wonders of the world. Let me know if you'd be interested in that, because I'd be so down to do it. It's just a rule on the show that I try not to go to any super touristy areas, give or take some exceptions. So if you guys want to see that, and you want to see me cover the wonders of the world, um, go right ahead and let me know. I might do it anyway. We'll see. It's often called the eighth wonder of the world or the Venice of the Pacific. Nan-Madol was the ceremonial and political seat of the Sadoler dynasty, which united Pohnpei's estimated population of 25,000 people until about 1628. Set apart between the main island of Pohnpei and Temwen Island, it was a scene of human activity as early as the 1st or 2nd century AD. By the 8th or 9th century, islet construction had started, with construction of the distinctive megalithic architecture beginning 1180 to 1200 AD. So now we know this wasn't all sorts of like construction done by like excavators and bulldozers and cranes and stuff like that. This is construction basically as early as existence as we know it from back then. I shouldn't say existence as we know it, but existence up to this point, I suppose, would be the better terminology. It's very, very old and therefore not modern. So you get it. Um, Polish ethnographer and oceanographer John Stanislaw Kabari, this is terrible, made the first detailed description of Nan-Madol in 1874. Little can be verified about the megalithic construction. Pohnpeian tradition claims that the builders of the Lele, I'm so bad at this, I'm sorry, archaeological site on Khosrai, likewise composed of huge stone buildings, migrated to Pohnpei, where they used their skills and experience to build the even more impressive Nan-Madol complex. Radiocarbon dating indicates that Nan-Madol predates Lelu. Thus, it is more likely that Nan-Madol influenced it. I'm going to avoid saying words I can't pronounce until further notice. As such, I will bring the screen closer so that you guys can also see what I'm seeing. According to Pohnpeian legend, Nan-Madol was constructed by twin sorcerers Alisiba and Alasofpa from the mythical Western Kitao, or Kenemwesu. The brothers arrived in a large canoe seeking a place to build an altar so that they could worship Nanizan Sapu, the god of agriculture. After several false starts, the two brothers successfully built an altar off Temwen Island, where they performed their rituals. In legend, these brothers levitated the huge stones with the aid of a flying dragon. Wow. See, I sure would love to see a flying dragon around here. That would be so sick. When Alisipa died of old age, Alasipa became the first Sadoler. They married a local woman and sired 12 generations, producing 16 other Sadoler rulers of the Dipwalup, or Great, clan. The founders of the dynasty ruled kindly, though their successors placed ever-increasing demands on their subjects. Their reign ended with the invasion by Isokelekel, who also resided at Nan-Madol, though his successors abandoned the site. So I suppose that's where we can ascertain where exactly this abandonment started. So we'll go back to that here in just a little bit. Let me check my timer and make sure I still have enough time to actually talk about this place. Okay, we're good. I have like 10 more minutes. That's fine. But yeah, let's go ahead and take some more scenery. I forgot that I shrunk the map. Alright. Yeah, this is the shot I was talking about earlier. That just looks so amazing. I wonder what kind of wildlife lives out here. And aquatic species, I have no doubt. but I wonder if there's any like uh tigers or anything like that. Primates, anything? I might have to look into that. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, let me not waste any time because I know we have precious little of it, but it's neither here nor there. Actually, will it tell me anything here about it? No. No, it's not going to tell me anything about that. That's fine. I can find it myself. It's fine. What kind of wildlife lives at non-MADOL? Okay. So according to the AI overview, for whatever that's worth, it is citing some sources though, so that's maybe a little bit more trustworthy. Um, see, it features a unique, mostly marine-based ecosystem, which I kind of pretty well figured. Wildlife includes sacred eels, blacktip reef sharks in the surrounding lagoons, green turtles, and diverse seabirds like naughties. I don't think I've ever heard of that species. The site is surrounded by mangrove forests and coral reefs. So, as far as marine and aquatic wildlife goes, sacred eels, famously large eels, are part of the local legends and inhabit the waters around the ruins. See, it didn't tell me anything about that during the Wikipedia article, did it? Sharks, blacktip reef sharks are found in the shallow lagoons and channels surrounding the islets. Uh, Green turtles, or Chelonia mitis, are observed in the area. And fish, of course, various tropical reef fish species inhabit the coral reefs and mangrove channels, which are central to the non-Madol environment. Non-Madol environment, sorry. As far as birds, naughties, brown and black naughties are present. White tern, shorebirds, common are sandpiper, gray-tailed tattler, and wandering tattler. So, wow. I was right. It is going to be mostly aquatic life in this generally aquatic area. So, world's greatest detective right here. Your old pal, the Lorekeeper. Alright. We already read that. Okay. The Elite Center was a special place of residence for the nobility and of mortuary activities presided over by priests. Its population almost certainly did not exceed 1,000. It may have been less than half of that. Although a number of residents were chiefs, the majority were commoners. Non-Madol served in part as a way for the ruling Sodalair chiefs to organize and control potential rivals by requiring them to live in the city rather than in their home districts, where their activities were difficult to monitor. So it seems like a big part of this area was keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. That's interesting. Oh, I accidentally turned on a different scrolling thing and I don't know how to get out of it. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So this is gonna be about archaeology a lot. Looks like underwater archaeological surveys to investigate reports of submerged basalt columns just offshore of Non-Madol and to search for two legendary submerged prehistoric cities known as Kanim Nemket and Kanemwaiso. It's so bad. I'm sorry. These surveys reported finding several tall stone pillars covered in coral growth as tall as 6 meters or 20 feet tall. need to find a way to turn off this like auto scroll that I have going on here. I don't know how. I've lost control. I've lost control of that. It's fine. Um, so let's go ahead and dive right over to this. In popular culture and lost continent theories, the ruins of Non-Madol were used as a setting for a lost race story uh, by A. Merritt, The Moon Pool in 1918, in which the islands are called Non-Tash and the ruins are called the Non-Metal. It's been interpreted by some as the remains of one of the lost continents of Lemuria and Mu. Non-Medal was one of the sites James Churchward identified as being part of the lost continent of Mu, starting in his 1926 book, The Lost Continent of Mu Motherland of Man. That's a mouthful. There's no scientific basis for the claims of Churchward, whose writings on Mu are considered to be pseudoscience. Which, little vocabulary lesson for those of you who don't know, pseudoscience is exactly what it sounds like. It's science that isn't real. Anyway, let me check my timer and see how much longer we have. We have about 3 minutes, so I am going to go ahead and see about wrapping this up by showing off some of the other views around here. While I tell you that viewer engagement has been up a little bit, so I really do appreciate that. Make sure if you're enjoying the show to like, comment, and of course subscribe, because part of my mission here is to make sure that there are parts of the world that aren't forgotten. And this is one of those places that's just way too beautiful to forget. So make sure that you're sharing with your friends as much as you can, talking about it hopefully, and hopefully saying nice things about it. I mean, you can say mean things about it if you want to, but it would upset me. But yeah, in the episode description, there's also going to be a link to my Cash App, as always. That's the Tip Your Tour Guide feature. You're welcome to leave me a tip if you're enjoying the show, and if you enjoyed this episode. You absolutely don't have to, but it would be appreciated, and it would really help me out. This is amazing. And real quick, while I have just like 2 minutes left, I also wanted to announce a little bit of an expansion to the channel. I think I've decided that I'm going to start doing little bite-sized pieces of content, short-form videos, which I guess are the future. Just over in YouTube Shorts. It's just going to be me sharing fun facts about things I've learned about. So be on the lookout for that. Very small, very digestible pieces of Lorekeeper content on the way. So get excited for that, hopefully. And I think that'll be it. Sorry, this feels a little bit different from the other episodes. I don't know why. I moved to a new place, so I think it might be somewhat environmental. I don't know. But anyway, I will leave you with these amazing views of these ancient structures. And I thank you for watching episode 17 of Around the World in 80 Tours. My name's the Lorekeeper, and I hope to see you both in the next episode and in future pieces of content, like my series As Read by a Lorekeeper, where I do dramatic readings of classic literature. Oh, my timer's going off. That's fine. where I do dramatic readings of classic literature and monologues from plays and stuff like that. That's getting started. And of course, in Fun Facts with the Lorekeeper, that's probably not the final name, but it's what I'm workshopping with for now. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time in whatever I see you in. But yeah, have a good evening, have a good day, whatever time you're watching this, and thank you again for watching. End transmission.